Good morning, everybody. I'm Luke Sullivan with Transwest Truck Trailer RV. We are right here in Frederick, Colorado, just off Interstate 25, about 30 minutes north of Denver. You can't miss us. We've got a ton of inventory. It's getting to be the time we're starting to start at least thinking about spring, maybe getting out, being a little bit more mobile with our horses. So we certainly want to have some inventory for you to choose from. Behind me today, a 3-horse Logan Coach Bullseye in the bumper pull variety. So if you're in a half-ton pickup, if you're in some larger SUVs, call me, email me, we can talk about weights, but certainly a lot of those vehicles are more than capable. So that would obviously restrict you from moving up to a gooseneck. So this bumper pull gives you that added capacity. Being a 3-horse, we have a very well-equipped tack room as well. So really nice using trailer, really nice everyday trailer too. So let's get into the hitch really quick. Logan does a couple cool things that I like. This new hitch style takes a lot of the guesswork out of hitching up now. Really simple. That is latched and connected. Even in that position, you can lower it onto the ball and it'll still capture the ball. And then that's your disconnected position. That's your release to get it off of your truck. And then a nice big safety pin to go through there when you are traveling down the road. Heavy duty safety chains, cross your chains, twist those guys up. You hear about warnings, red flag warning. I think we're going to be in one today out here in Colorado. When they say twist your chains, that's to bring them up off the ground so you're not dragging them and creating sparks. Also going to wear down your chains too, so you don't want to compromise the safety of those. 7-pin connection there. We've got it plugged into a box to run some lights for you, but every late model vehicle now is coming typically from the factory with that plug in the bumper. Really nice hand crank jack. We do a lot of add-ons here at Transwest. We've got a great shop. We've got a great 3 great techs that can help you out with your own trailer or with our inventory. If you want to do some add-ons, if you wanted to add an electric jack to this, for instance, that's something we can certainly help you out with. Call us, reach out, and we get some pricing for you and a time frame to get that kind of stuff done. So again, Logan makes a really nice product. Galvanized steel frame, aluminum body. Anywhere you see this galvanized steel, it's going to be coated in that vortex lining. We'll start seeing a lot more of it on the inside of the trailer as well. They think very highly of it. It's like a truck bed liner. It's a tough material. We put it especially on the gooseneck drop walls to protect behind our tow vehicle. In the bumper pulls, to dress them up a little bit, we're doing some diamond plate on there to keep those rock chips at bay as much as we can. So getting into the tack room, like I said, very well equipped. There's no option, there's no kind of place of storage left undone. First and foremost, you can see you've got the swing out saddle rack. So really nice option. Load up your gear. I'm a short guy, so it's nice not to have to step into the tack room with your stuff. Load your saddles up. These are also infinitely adjustable. No tool required, just a knob on the back side. You can move these up or down. If you did want to remove one, you'd have to move the post away with some tools. But again, if you want to jack a couple up to the top because you're only going to use one on the bottom for a while, you can do that and get the rest of the stuff out of your way. And then again, just on a gas shock inside of there, folds right up against the wall. And then you can see on the tack door itself, you've got a couple storage options too. Blanket poles, of course, these will swing out too if you want to load them up, or if you're sitting still at a show for a while, you want to swing them out, maybe try and catch a little breeze with them and dry them off before you close them up in the tack room. And then a nice brush tray in the bottom of the door. Nice for easy access to those first couple of things you want when you're getting to the show, whether it's some fly spray or hoof paint or what have you. Also in the door too, we talked about some sweaty saddle pads. When you get your gear in here, certainly summertime, we're not thinking about it right now in February, but August, you're gonna make a lot of, have a lot of sweaty gear in here. So nice to be able to open up that bus window and get some ventilation in here and dry things out a little bit. So stepping into the tack room, can still work our way around the saddle rack. You'll see on the wall behind me down below, we do have a full-size matching spare wheel. It is an aluminum match to the 4 on the ground, just spun around there. But nice to keep this inside, nice to save face a little bit. Out here in Colorado, nice to keep that rubber out of the sun. And then again, nice to have that matching spare if you do have a flat on the way to a show or something like that. You'll be able to swap it out and not have an ugly, rusty old steel wheel or something like that. We talked about the vortex liner. You're going to see more and more of it everywhere throughout the trailer. Again, really tough material. It's going to hold up But then you'll see just above that, carpeted the full width of the trailer anywhere that we've got some bridle hooks. So twofold, it's gonna keep the side of this trailer, it's gonna keep this wall looking really nice. We've all seen the used trailers going down the road. We all probably own the used trailers going down the road that are all marked up on the wall from our headgear, our bits, our bridles, chain shanks, and the like. So this really protects this wall quite a bit more. And then two, you gotta consider right on the other side of this wall, right here is the head of our number one horse. So we're gonna quiet this down quite a bit too. You're not gonna have that metal on metal banging as you're going down the road or bouncing down the interstate. So really nice to have this. And then the vortex down below it is just that added little safety feature. Always have some wasted space in these slant load trailers when you get back in that corner there with that partition wall. Really nice to fill that up. You've got onboard water. Fill it up at the top at a big valve, and then those two bottom valves, the secondary one obviously very easily fit a 5-gallon water bucket underneath that, and then you probably saw the hose on the bridle hooks, but you can hook that into that lower valve, run it right outside, fill up some buckets, and go. Nice to be able to have some water with you, whether you're trail riding and you don't have access to water, or you're showing early spring and they haven't turned water on at the barns or something like that. Nice to have it from home. As we go along the trailer, we'll close it up a little bit and give you a look at it. Tack room doors have some nice holds on them, and like I said, you've got that bus window in there too. Hip side along the trailer, we've got some big oversized bus windows at each horse, so slide those open. We'll talk drop windows when we get to the hip head side, but we can still move a lot of air through these trailers. 3 horses in a smaller trailer like this in August, you certainly want to have some good airflow going through there. So we have that, and we can be a lot more comfortable knowing that they've got that airflow going through there. Tie rings, we've got 3 on this side, we've got 3 on driver's side as well. Nice to have some options, whether you've got a couple that don't get along or parking situations, what have you. Obviously really nice if you're able to park and load everything up right here and tack everything right up here next to your tack room. Above those tie rings, you'll see a floodlight. Have one above the tack room door as well. We've got a couple others along the back side of the trailer and on driver's side. Controllable by some switches on the rear post on driver's side. The LED first and foremost is a real low power draw, so this trailer is gonna pull off of your tow vehicle, so you can leave those on and not worrying about killing your batteries in a reasonable amount of time. And then really bright too. You're gonna be able to see what you're doing. If you've got a couple over here tacked up, you're gonna have enough light to certainly see what you're doing, help yourself get loaded up and be comfortable if you're working in those early mornings or late nights. Talk running gear really quick. Dexter torsion axles. We talked about the aluminum wheels and tires on this trailer. Also electric drum brakes on both axles. Make sure your tow vehicle does have a trailer brake controller, and you can adjust that gain setting. Again, infinitely adjustable, and also be cognizant that this trailer weighs a very different amount. You can almost double the weight of the empty trailer with a full load of horses. So you want to be able to increase that setting and have good braking power from your trailer to help you stop. So working our way around to the back of the trailer. One big add-on on this trailer is a rear ramp. If this trailer checks every box for you, except you're just not looking for a ramp, you'd rather have the step up, like I said up front with that electric jack, our techs can swap it out for you. Likewise, or on the flip side, if you find a trailer in our inventory and it doesn't have a ramp, if it's a Logan or a Cimarron, we can help you with that. We can get factory parts and we can add a ramp for you. The guys in the shop, like I said, it'll look like a factory finish. So really nice to have the ramp. I like the ramp feature. Gives you a little more versatility out of the trailer too if you want to multi-purpose it. Use it to haul some equipment, a small mower, maybe an ATV or side-by-side in for service or out trail riding. You have that option. So Logan Coach, we talk vortex lining. You're going to see the theme continues throughout. We are a wood floored trailer, but it is coated with that vortex liner. So really going to buy you a lot more lifespan out of this wood floor. Again, our suggestions with housekeeping, with maintaining these floors, depending on usage, the average user, pull your mats once a year, pressure wash these trailers out, let everything dry out really nicely. Don't leave wet urine soaked shavings especially sit in your trailer over a long weekend. If you got back from a show on a Sunday or something like that and leave it through the week. Practice good housekeeping is our suggestion first and foremost, but really easy. Slide these mats out of here, wash it out, and you're good to go. Padded dividers for number 1 and number 2. This first one is a telescoping divider. Sole purpose is so that we can lay it flat against this wall. We've got just a simple double-ended snap right here. Can pin it up against the wall. If we wanted to use this rear section and leave it more wide open for a horse, we have that option. Same with this partition, we can do the same and clip it here as well. So just like I said, if you wanted to go get a small load of hay, run your mower in here to get it to service, you could pin those against the wall, and now you have an open box. If you're hauling a mare in foal, just a lot more versatility just with that small feature with that telescoping divider. And like we said, both padded, and then you'll notice around all of our kick walls, our partition wall, and our head wall, we've got that vortex liner. It's gonna hold up really well. If we've got somebody dancing against the wall up there, it's gonna make a big, big difference. You will see at the head of each horse, and we'll talk a lot more about them when we get outside, but we've got drop windows with jail bars. Logan does a nice little mesh screen there too. We've got, we've certainly had some feedback that maybe some customers have some mouthy horses or some playful horses and want to nibble on that a little bit. It is very easily removable, just a couple Velcro straps, but we like it, just an added layer of protection from any small things going down the road, and a little bit of a sunshade as well. You'll notice above that window, you've got a big tie ring there. If you want to hang a hay net, tie your horse's head, or secure them in some way, you have that option. And then just below the window, we've got a couple D-rings. If you'd like some corner feed bags, we can help you out with those too. One more thing as we're going out of the trailer, we talk a lot about airflow, we talk windows and drop windows. The roof vents play a huge role, especially when you're moving down the road. These are two-way roof vents. We're a 7-foot tall trailer here, so I can just about reach those and show you. But what we do with those is summertime, open those up so they're facing forward, they're open forward, and they're gonna scoop a ton of air into the trailer. Especially, obviously, the faster you go, the more air you're gonna move through this trailer. So really nice to be able to do that. You've got one roof vent above each horse. And then wintertime, if you do have 3 in here, you're still gonna keep it pretty warm in here. The body heat of those 3 horses is certainly gonna keep the temperature up in here if you've got just a couple of bus windows cracked. So I like to open a couple of those backwards, move a little air out of the top of this trailer. You can get build a little moisture and condensation up there. So nice to be able to move that and keep everything fresh. And then again, right down the middle, just like that, you're locked and loaded. We're covering a lot of features. I think the last thing we've missed inside of here is our LED lights. Like I said, we've got control over them at the rear post, rear corner of the trailer there. One individual switch for all 3, but you can flip these on and off if you like. Maybe you've got loaded up, you're taking one for a long road trip and you're traveling overnight. Turn one on in the back and keep it so that he can see what's going on, but it's not bright and in his face. Do like that they put them over on the hip side. And again, LED too, so low power draw, gonna be not affecting your truck or your rig or your battery or anything like that too much. So close these up really quick. We do a 50-50 double doors with the ramp over on this trailer. So I like that quite a bit. Because I came from the breeding industry, so if you're hauling a mare in foal, the ability to get in here, or even a young yearling or something like that, nice to be able to drop this ramp, get right up here to the door, and you can sneak in. Your groom can sneak in, grab somebody, get some shanks on. You can even close this back up. And then once you're ready, once everybody's ready inside, you can open up your doors and your ramp and you're ready to go. So I really like the ramp over design. You can do it with a lot of different trailers, whether they're straight loads or slant loads. And then Logan does a really nice job spring loading these too. So that was one-handed operation and wasn't trying to fake it at all. So LED lights around the entire trailer in terms of marker and DOT lights. You will see a little white LED diode in the middle of the tail lights. That's a reverse light. Gonna add a little bit of light to things anytime you throw your tow vehicle into reverse. Still part of that same 7-pin design, just something that's been really underutilized until recently. Here's our switches for our load lights. Talked about LED floodlights on the rear of the trailer. We've got another on driver's side too. Okay, now the drop windows kind of really come into shine. So let's drop all three of these and show you the actual air gap that you're getting for your horses and the amount of air that you can move through this trailer. I like Logan's. The center bar here, the center post in these bars is your release. Just it's spring loaded. Pull down on that. It releases a couple pins up high and you can drop it right down. Showing this, opening these up to show you the amount of airflow and space and just open access that they're going to have. Certainly only set up like this if you're offering a little hay and water to stop, if you're getting loaded up, if you're clipping some shanks on or something like that to load or unload. Before you head down the road, make sure those latch into place. They do a nice job with a little rubber plunger and a stopper right here that hold these up against the wall. We're getting to that time of year, the wind is blowing, depending on where you're going. I have now watched these in my own rearview mirror flap all the way latched closed. So that rubber plunger holding these against that wall makes a big, big difference. And then, just like we've been doing, we're gonna close it all up for you and give you a good look at the side of this trailer. Couple tie rings between all our drop windows, just like we have on passenger side. So again, if you need an extra spot to tie up, you have those options. And then closing this guy up too, you will see that we have some small bus windows in all those drops too. So it is February, we are warm today, but if it was normal, maybe crack a couple of those open, get a little airflow, keep everybody comfortable in some fresh air, but certainly not blasting with that full face of air. If you guys have any questions about this trailer, if you'd like to see some specs or drawings, weights, email me. It's down below, luke.sullivan@transwest.com. Again, if you have questions about tongue weight, empty weight, capacities, your tow vehicle, maybe if it's a good match or not, I'd be happy to talk to you about that. You can call or text me on my cell phone, 859-509-1282. If this trailer is the one for you, please feel free to jump on our website. You can reference it there via stock number. That is 5N251436. Thanks for your time today, everybody. También hablo español.